Hey, what's up, guys? It's Spencer with the Fantasy Fanatics. I'm here with Nathan. Nathan, it's almost week 3. Time is flying.
Yet the season always goes by so fast. It is so sad, but the fantasy season is ramped up. It's the best time of the year.
Yep, and we got week 3 quarterback rankings. They're going to be a little bit different than they were last week in week 1. Um, I think this is better, for people, or if we throw, say, Derek Carr into the end of QB2, that doesn't help anybody out. This actually helps people out. So people they should play, in the order of confidence that they could play them. Elite, of course you're gonna play those guys. Great, you can start them with confidence. Decent, you're a little worried. Kirk Cousins, bench, leave them on the bench for maybe a week or two. Hopefully they are high ceiling guys, not just low ceiling guys. And then you could drop it to the waivers. I'm looking at you. Probably like I'm looking at the bottom, probably Jared Goff. But we'll get into it. Nathan, do you want to start us off?
Yeah, we start with Russell Wilson. They play the 49ers at home. I'm going to put him at decent.
Yeah.
And all this is based on 12-team leagues. I got him at decent just because he's shown absolutely nothing. He got smoked by Seattle. Just hasn't looked very good. I want to see it until I move him up to either great or elite. He's got that kind of upside. He's got the receivers for it. He's got the backs for it. He's got the talent himself. Nathaniel Hackett just hadn't really got it going yet. So we'll leave him at decent. If you drafted him, he's probably your only option to start unless you picked up someone like Wentz or Mariota. So we'll leave him at decent for now.
Yeah, I drafted him in a few leagues, hoping, to get that great to elite player with a like floor of great. Like I didn't expect to throw him in decent here, like in week 3, but he's just not been good. And he has the weapons. I think he'll turn it around, but it hasn't looked great. Tom Brady's next. I think he's right in the middle of that great to low end great tiers. Um, the weapons might be a concern. No Mike Evans for right now. No Chris Godwin. It's probably going to be like what, Cole Beasley, Julio Jones, Brashad Perryman.
Brashad Perryman.
I mean, but if anybody's going to make him work, it's going to be Tom.
Yep.
I still think he is a great play just because he's Tom Brady.
Yeah, completely agree. Jalen Hurts, my absolute man crush this year. Got him in tons of my leagues. It's paying off. He is right at elite. I didn't even have to say anything. Spencer just knew, put him there.
Yeah,
I've got him. He's in the conversation with Josh Allen, Lamar, Patrick Mahomes. I think it's that top 4 have separated themselves from the pack. And right now, I think it's kind of unanimous. Josh Allen is at number 1. I think Hurts is like right there. So
I disagree.
Set it and forget it.
But that is a Bills fan talking. Matthew Stafford, I'm going to put him right at the top of decent. Some people might not like that. We have him ranked right after Tom Brady. I think Tom Brady is the end of great tiers.
Okay.
Or the end of the great tier. Matthew Stafford doesn't offer any rushing upside. Not that Tom Brady does, but Matthew Stafford isn't Tom Brady. I didn't look at his fantasy last week. If I had to guess, he probably put up what? Through 2 touchdowns, probably put up like 15 to 18. I think that could be realistically what we see every week for him. We are hoping that he progressed. He put up 18 last week against Atlanta, which is not a great defense. I think Arizona has a better defense. Not great. I'd expect, 15 to 18 fantasy points again this week.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, you might say that could be great, but I think decent.
Yeah. Carson Wentz, I think, goes at the very back of decent. We've got him at QB 13 this week. They've got Philly at home. I could see that being a shootout because both defenses have looked good, but both offenses have looked very good. I think he's QB 4 on the year. Maybe a couple, but he's top 5 so far this year. He's absolutely killing it. Nobody expected him to be like this, but he's got McLaurin, he's got Curtis Samuel, he's got Dotson, plenty of weapons. If you got him, you probably got him off waivers. Maybe you lost Trey Lance. This is a great guy to plug and play.
Yeah, another one who I think is a great stash. Argument could be made to play him again this week against Seattle, which is a great matchup. Keep him on your bench this week. let's see if Kyle Pitts and Drake London, or if Kyle Pitts could get involved, Drake London can, keep turning it up, and even throw it to Cordero Patterson out of the backfield. And, he didn't even run a lot last week like he did the first week. So let's leave him on the bench for one more week and then maybe deploy him as, that mid-tier QB2, maybe even upper tier, and get him into that decent tier.
Kyla Murray, I'm going to put him towards the top of the great tier. He offers tons with his legs. We saw it in the ending of the game last week. He runs around forever, runs in the end zone, throws touchdowns. He's waiting on Hopkins to get back. Hopefully he gets Rondale Moore back this week. May have lost James Conner, but I think that's only going to help him, honestly, because he'll be able to run more himself. Excuse me. Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
More passing, too. I mean, you don't have to give James Conner 15 to 20 touches anymore.
That's right.
So, I mean, Kyler Murray is a great option. Running the ball. You saw that play. He had 20 seconds as he was in the backfield. He's just insane. He's a cheat code.
Yep.
He could honestly move him to that elite tier with Justin Herbert, Patrick Mahomes, Lamar, Jalen Hurts, and Josh Allen, all of them. So,
for sure.
Derek Carr, I do think he is. I have him above Marcus Mariota. See, he is at the top of the bench tier. He has great weapons. It's kind of not high ceiling. I just think the guys above him are better options. It's just you drafted Derek Carr probably at QB 15. He's probably going to finish it around QB 15 for you.
Completely agree.
It's just probably an argument could be made. He has one of the higher floors just because of his weapons, and it doesn't feel like Derek Carr ever had that 3-pick game like Kirk Cousins has.
Mm-hmm.
So I think he has a pretty high floor out of the guys down here.
Sure. Joe Burr had a little bit of a slow start to the season. I've got him in the middle of the great tier. They've got a very good matchup against the Jets this week. I expect big games from Higgins and Jamar, as well as Mixon. I think they're going to absolutely steamroll the Jets. So I would expect quite the bounce back here. If he does struggle against the Jets again, then it might be time to be a little concerned, but I expect a big game.
Yeah, Joe Burrow is a stud. He has stud weapons. He's got to turn it around sometime.
Mm-hmm.
Josh Allen to the top, best QB in the league, QB1. Insane. Gonna probably give you a 35 burger this week against Miami. He always destroys the fence. He is a fish killer.
Kirk Cousins, we have got him. I'm gonna put him. We got him at QB 12. I'm gonna put him into the decent tier. He's got the weapons. He doesn't do well under pressure. Yeah, it's kind of like they play Detroit at home. I expect that to be a high scoring game. If you've got Kirk Cousins, most people probably aren't starting him just because he normally went outside the top 12. But if you do have him, I think you're fine. I think you're fine if you do have to start him.
You have to do that. Most people aren't starting him. As you're looking a man dead in the eyes who is having to start him. Oh, that's just dirty. Tua, still don't know how to say it. Tonga Violo. Tua Tagovailoa. Tagovailoa.
Yeah.
So I was saying it right. Okay.
Tagovailoa.
I didn't trust myself there. We have him ranked at 17. Might be a little disrespectful, but he is facing, I don't think there's any arguments, top 3 defense, maybe a 1.
I mean, have you seen Seattle?
But he still has Jalen Waddle. He has Tyreek Hill. So that's going to keep him afloat. I mean, if he has a big game against Buffalo, you could honestly talk about moving him into that decent tier.
Maybe even the great tier. I mean, if he does that against Buffalo, then we're like, okay, hold on. Maybe the Dolphins are for real.
His weapons are just so insane. It's just he had one huge week, and it's kind of like, is this, we've seen 2 years of crappy Tua, I need to see more. I see a lot of people calling for him to be a top 10 fantasy quarterback. I do not see that. He had a 40 piece. Let's just see it another week. And I don't think it'll be this week. I don't think you bail on him if he sucks against Buffalo. But, I mean, I think you have to bench him, if you have any of the other guys up here.
Yeah, I talked about it a lot because people love to hate on Tua. Teams were tanking for Tua before they were tanking for Trevor. He was supposed to be the next big deal. I think he's finally showing it. I do. he could, he could prove me wrong. Buffalo's defense is legit, but if he gets it done against Buffalo, I think he's the real deal.
Yep.
Jared Goff, he's going to make the drop tier. I just we spoke about him on the waiver live stream. I think he's a decent option this week. I just don't think he's worth starting in a 12-team league. There's better options.
He's not bad option in a 2 QB league.
Yeah, and they're playing in Minnesota. I expect it to be a high-scoring game. I think there could be big games in store for Amon-Ra, for Chark, for Hawkinson, because I think they're gonna have to keep up with Minnesota. So, but I don't know. I just think you probably have a better option, and in future weeks, it's not worth keeping on your bench. I don't think.
Yep, Lamar Jackson, QB3. Could be the future MVP. He is so good, and now he's playing without a contract, so now he's pissed off. He looks so good. He has this kind of looks like a little bit of 2019 Lamar. Like I had him last year. Of course, Lamar's great. This is like a different Lamar. This is like a better running, a better passing. Who would have thought getting rid of Marquise Brown? Free Devin Duvernay. But Rashad Bateman is good for a 70-yard touchdown, it appears like every week. So
he's a dude.
If that's happening, then I think, and we can get to the wide receiver rankings. I overranked Rashad Bateman so hard. I am in love with Rashad Bateman.
And people love to talk about Jalen Waddle and Tua being the fastest wide receiver duo, but per NFL metrics or next gen. I don't know what tracks it. Devin Duvernay and Rashad Bateman are the 2 fastest players in the NFL so far. I think
so get out of here with that
mind-boggling.
Get out of here with that Dolphins bias.
Yeah. Everybody. I think it's crazy. Next we got Aaron Rodgers. He finds the decent tier. Obviously not the same weapons as he's had in the past. Hopefully, one of the maybe Watson or Dobbs, however you say it, fulfills their potential. But until then, we're banking on the running backs.
I think we can't keep saying this like every week. Like it's, week 1, it was like, oh, somebody's got to emerge. Week 2, somebody's got to emerge. What if nobody does emerge? And what if it's just, I'm a little biased, but that running game is so insane. Like, what if they just become a run first team?
And with Aaron Rodgers, I mean, that's a hell of a combo.
Aaron Rodgers, like play action while everybody's stacking the box. That's dangerous. But he
just chucks it deep. Christian Watson, drop. Run the ball next play.
Do they have the worst wide receiver room?
Do they have the worst? No.
Who do you
not even close. I would probably go with it's between the Jags. It's between the Texans.
I was thinking the Jags and I didn't think of the Texans.
The Titans, maybe.
I would take Christian Kirk over any receiver they have.
I mean, Kirk. I like Kirk.
I do too. I just think the Jags have the worst wide receiver room. And plus, they're maybe
the Giants.
Yeah,
Giants is really bad.
They have Kadarius Toney though.
Do they? do they have him?
They don't know they do.
Yeah.
But Patrick Mahomes, he is going to be the last one. Is he going to be the last one? I don't know. That's up to you. Next, but Patrick Mahomes, I've seen some people rank him at 2 this week. I'm not mad at that. Patrick Mahomes is Patrick Mahomes. He's facing Indianapolis, but it really doesn't matter who Patrick Mahomes is facing because Mahomes could either go off for 2 touchdowns or 6. So,
yeah, he one of the highest floors, one of the highest ceilings.
I think he might be the highest floor. Like Patrick Mahomes, him and Josh Allen. I know you're going to say Jalen Hurts. Like any of the top 4 guys, you have an argument to be made that their floor is like 15.
Yeah, which is insane.
And that's like a good week for Kirk Cousins.
Yeah. Next, Justin Fields finds the middle of the elite tier. He is droppable, I think. That Bears defense is just so bad. He's our quarterback 19 this week. Purely they're playing Houston, and B, he likes to run. That is it.
Yeah.
That team is abysmal.
I do think if you do have a bad QB option like one of these guys, you can maybe make the case to maybe keep him on the bench for one more week and just hope the rushing outweighs all the bad passing. But right now, if you have one of these top 7, maybe top 9 guys, I could see it dropping Fields. But Trevor Lawrence, I know we have him ranked above. I don't know if I should do this. I'll keep him on the bench for now. Trevor's good, but he's not. he's not going to win you weeks. I mean, he's good at rushing the ball, but he's not Marcus Mariota or Justin Fields. I just doesn't have a great wide receiver room, as we were just talking. But yeah, it's kind of
And a
tough.
tough matchup.
They have a really good running game too. So, unless Travis Etienne can emerge as like that receiver out of the backfield, I don't love Trevor Lawrence, but keep him on the bench.
Yeah, Justin Herbert. I'm going to put him at the back end of elite. They play Jacksonville. I expect Justin Herbert to throw all over them.
The only concern is the ribs.
I mean, he was throwing dimes last week with the broken ribs, even though they still lost.
They probably took him on the bench, and they're like, "Hey, dude, take this. It'll make you feel."
Yeah, and he was like, "Hey, you saw what you did to Tyrod. Back off with the golf tee.
Easy there, buddy. Easy there.
Yeah, keep that golf tee away."
This is totally off topic. I did see where Tyrod is suing for $5 million.
As he should. I think it should be more. I feel bad for Tyrod.
He was going to happen anyways, though.
But to happen like that, I mean, that's messed up.
Yeah. Jimmy G, I talked about him as a waiver pickup. He finds the end of our rankings at 20. I do think you could drop him, even if you didn't have him. Keep him on the waivers, unless you picked up Dak and Trey Lance. And have to start one of the, I don't know. I don't know what kind of league you'd have to be in. Like 2 QB leagues, yeah, you own them. Like I know he'll be owned in my 2 QB league in an 8-team league. So, I mean, obviously 2 QB leagues, but 1 QB leagues, like what would it have to be for him to be owned?
I just don't see the upside. And offers nothing with the legs, and they love to run the ball. I just don't see it.
I think he's like going to produce the same as like Jared Goff.
Yeah, he's a decent bye week fill-in if they have a good matchup. This week they play at Denver. Not necessarily great, but it's kind of a meh.
He's kind of like not going to win you weeks, but could lose you weeks.
Yeah, could lose you. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. But that's going to do it for the QB ranking videos. Let us know if you like this style or the style we did week 2 or the style we did week 1. We're looking to change it up to try to, find the best option. I like this right here, how we're talking about, where to start them and how confident you can be. But check out the FF Fanatics 3 on Twitter and the fffanatics.com. Nathan, you got anything to say?
Yeah, make sure you're subscribed to the channel if you're here. If you enjoy the content, share it with a friend. Get them on board. The Fantasy Fanatics train is taking off. We appreciate everybody who has jumped on board so far. We are past 1,800 followers on Twitter. Absolutely love it. Let's get our YouTube to 100 subscribers by the end of the season. Thank you, everybody. We will see you in the next video.